The morning light poured through my room in Eralis, casting soft patterns on the walls. It was my last morning here. By midday, Lysara and I would leave the Skyvale, heading for the next part of this ever-expanding journey. The thought filled me with a mix of excitement and dread. The council had provided supplies for our travels. Ether-infused rations, a small map marked with key locations, and a finely crafted dagger for me. It was lighter than the one I'd used before, its blade humming faintly with the touch of the ether. Lysara arrived as I finished packing, her usual calm presence a source of comfort. "Are you ready?" she asked. "As ready as I'll ever be," I replied, slinging the pack over my shoulder. "Good," she said with a faint smile. "The world beyond the Skyvale is harsher, less attuned to the ether. You will face challenges unlike any you've seen so far. But the light within you has grown stronger. Trust it, and you will endure." The gates of Eralis loomed tall as we approached, their crystalline surface glowing faintly in the morning sun. A small group had gathered to see us off: Kale, a few of the weavers, and some of the people I'd come to know during my time here. Kale stepped forward, placing a hand on my shoulder. "You have brought hope to this city," he said, "and now you carry that hope to the rest of the realm. Remember, Nico, the shadow thrives on fear and doubt, but it cannot touch the light you carry unless you let it." "I'll do my best," I said, feeling the weight of his words. Lysara and I stepped through the gates, leaving the city behind. The Skyvale stretched out before us, its shimmering light a stark contrast to the dark mountains that loomed in the distance, the first obstacle on our journey. The ether-rich land of the Skyvale gave way to rougher terrain as we traveled. The air grew colder, the ground harder beneath our feet. The beacon, now dormant, hung at my side, while the shard's steady pulse guided me forward. Lysara was a quiet companion, speaking only when necessary, but her presence was reassuring, a reminder that I wasn't alone in this fight. By midday we reached the edge of the Skyvale. Beyond it lay the Broken Pass, a jagged stretch of mountains that served as a natural barrier between the Skyvale and the outer lands. "The Broken Pass is dangerous," Lysara said as we stood at its threshold. "The ether flows weakly here, and the shadow's influence is stronger. We must tread carefully." "Great," I muttered. "Nothing like starting a journey with danger right out of the gate." She gave me a faint smile, considerate preparation for what lies ahead. The pass was treacherous, its narrow paths winding between towering cliffs and sharp rocky outcroppings. The air was heavy, the hum of the ether barely audible. The shard's light dimmed slightly, its warmth a faint comfort against the growing chill. As we climbed, the whispers returned. "You cannot outrun us," they hissed, their voices weaving through the wind. "This world will fall, and you with it." I tightened my grip on the shard, forcing myself to focus. The whispers were more persistent here, their presence a constant reminder of the shadow's reach. "Stay close to me," Lysara said, her blade drawn as her eyes scanned the path ahead. The first attack came without warning. A group of shadowed creatures emerged from the cracks in the rocks, their forms shifting and flickering like living nightmares. Lysara moved instantly, her blade cutting through the air in a blur of light. I raised a barrier, blocking one of the creatures as it lunged toward me. The ether felt sluggish here, harder to control, but I managed to send a blast of light toward the nearest attacker, dissolving it into mist. "Do not let them overwhelm you," Lysara called as she dispatched another creature. I focused on the shard, drawing its light into my hands. A wave of energy erupted from me, pushing the creatures back, but they kept coming, their forms relentless and unyielding. "Why don't they ever give up?" I shouted, dodging another attack. "Because they cannot," Lysara replied. "The shadow knows only hunger. It will stop at nothing to consume the light." The battle felt like it lasted hours, though it was likely only minutes. When the last creature dissolved, I collapsed to my knees, gasping for air. The shard pulsed faintly, its energy drained but not extinguished. Lysara helped me to my feet, her expression a mix of concern and approval. "You fought well," she said, "but the shadow's presence is stronger here than I anticipated. We must move quickly." We set up camp at a sheltered outcropping, the cliffs providing some protection from the biting wind. Lysara lit a small fire, its warmth a welcome reprieve from the chill. As I sat by the fire, staring at the shard in my hand, I couldn't help but feel the weight of the journey ahead. The Skyvale had been a sanctuary, a place where the light was strong. But out here, the shadow felt closer, more oppressive. "You are stronger than you think," Lysara said, breaking the silence. "The shard responds to you because it senses your resolve. As long as you carry that resolve, the shadow cannot win." I nodded, her words sinking in. I didn't feel strong, but I'd made it this far. That had to count for something. Tomorrow we would continue through the broken pass, into lands unknown. The shadow was waiting, but so was the light. And as long as I carried that light, I wouldn't stop fighting.